once Ben Turner seems to have gone missing. Well, I can see one of the locals out there, so let's go and have a word with him about the pitch. Excuse me, sir, can you tell me something about your pitch?
Oh, Harlick Henry, so nice to see you, old boy. It's been a long time.
My dear old thing.
Yes, I can tell you something about the pitch here, actually. In '81, when we began, it was an artificial surface. We had it for 2 years, but then the feeling was that we couldn't get international cricket here seriously unless we got turf wickets. We then tried, on the outer side of the square, we tried some local play. It didn't work too well, so then we got some brought in from Pakistan, placed near Sialkot. And you can see that that binds together beautifully, and I would suggest that it's even better than Fenner's, Henry.
Thank you very much. Shake, rattle and roll. Well, the two captains are coming out now to toss, so we must leave the shake and go and join our old friend Simon Reed.
Gavin, so you decided to bowl?
Yeah, we have. You know, just looking at the games that have been played over the last week, there seems to have been a little bit more bounce and a little bit more in it early on. And we just want to make a tactical change today and chase second.
And the team news, has Hart passed his test?
No, he hasn't, unfortunately. So we've got Danny Morrison and Matthew Hart out, and we're playing the same 11 as we did against Sri Lanka.
Okay. Salim, so you decided that you're going to have to bat?
Yeah, we are batting. So it's good experience. So far we not batted first, so hopefully it's going to be in our favor.
Any total in your mind?
I think so far 250 should be a good total here.
And your team news?
Same team. We're playing with the same team.
Okay, all the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, Pakistan again looking immensely strong. Their batting is brimful of attacking stroke makers, with the dangerous Wasim coming at 7. They have 6 bowlers to work with, although Asif Mujtaba is yet to bowl in this series. New Zealand obviously don't have the same kind of firepower. They'll be hoping that Dion Nash can get amongst the wickets, as he did against Sri Lanka, and that Heath Davis, who bowled with anxiety against the Sri Lankans, will be more aggressive today. Let's go down to the boundary now and rejoin Henry.
Well, the scene is set, and one always says, it's an old truism, isn't it, that the first hour will be the most crucial. Today, I think Gavin Larson will be hoping that there may be just a fraction of surface moisture in the pitch. There was yesterday, and the Indian seam bowlers did make the odd ball lift, and the Australians had to play a little more cautiously than they might have anticipated. If this happens, the New Zealanders might pick up a couple of early wickets, and if so, gain a useful early advantage.
And the first ball of the morning coming up. This the second semi-final. It's a wide and the first run on the board.
I think that it's very important that New Zealand are bowling first here, because they haven't been able to work out the speed of their run chase batting first.
It will be Davis to bowl from...
Yes, it is very interesting, because 600, which is one more than the 50, an unusual figure to see it round that way, and only 52 matches.
And Sharjah, his happy hunting ground, his highest was here 135.
Taken off.
It's a no ball.
And bowling against these two openers, it won't be easy either. It's a tall order for him.
Uppish, and it's down to the square leg fence. A little fine for 4, but it was played off his pads, and it was a little uppish, but well clear of the fielder.
So it was a cry of expectation there, because it was hit in the air. And good approach, although he doesn't really accelerate. He just ambles in at the same, and see, he looks through the inside of the arm, doesn't really get the body right round, but he's very...
Pringle, the bowler, Sohail, the batsman, and he is off the mark, out to deep square, the long leg running around, and they've gone through for the second, and Pakistan into double figures, 11 for no wicket in the third.
field, a fairly orthodox one. A slip in a gully.
Yes, he's been a regular visitor for the matches that we've had so far. I dare say he's looking at
Water.
and I'm sure some very delicious bread, paratha.
So he'll have the food basket with it. Oh, maybe it is. Just ours, not that shape normally. Just thought he might have run some water from that.
That's Harris in the covers.
For New Zealand, Douglas being given his opportunity for the first time in this tournament. It's his third game in this tournament, the first time though for New Zealand.
Short and through mid-wicket. It's going to be a possible 4. It's going to be a long chase, and it's been flicked back just inside the boundary line.
Dion Nash did well there. In fact, he almost head-butted the hoardings. Does well there to pull it back in. Good commitment, but just getting perilously close there to the advertisement hoardings.
Thought of going for the shot.
Right. Seems to have led the way, so Hale has been more in a supporting role.
They see those two people behind the bowler. They're bothering the batsman, and now he's disappeared, so play will start again. And that's going to be 4. Beautifully played. 18 for no wicket. The board.
Heath Davis just not happy with his run up here. He's just making his mark more solid and obvious.
So he takes a single, and it's 19 for no wicket.
Very difficult for Davis. He's, well, for anybody going back to New Zealand live on Sky, but not to the southern part where I come from. We don't have Sky yet, Lifty.
They won't see you in your new garb.
That's probably a blessing.
It's down the leg side wide, and as Glenn was saying, it's Larson. I'm sure he must be hoping for a performance from Davis, and there you see the wide down the leg side. And
Once again, good carry there, though, wasn't there?
And he settled down, our regular visitor here. He's looking a little serious this morning.
Must have the season ticket. We've seen him every day.
Single.
Rosim Akram looking very relaxed.
Played square of the wicket beautifully between the two fielders. It's Douglas after it. And 23 for no wicket. And Heath finding that these two left-handers pick the gaps beautifully. They are particularly strong on the onside.
This one so far, the New Zealand bowlers will have to watch it a little. The Pakistanis haven't had to make something out of nothing yet.
And that's brilliantly fielded. The ball going first bounce to Pringle at long leg.
But it was a loose delivery, and the New Zealanders so far are just giving too many handouts to the Pakistanis, so they're collecting at a very good rate here without having to take chances.
Sohail, and back to Saeed Anwar, who's on strike. And that's going to be 4. Beautiful shot. What lovely timing. Turn of the wrists. and the ball just sped away, singeing the grass to the boundary for 4.
The line was perfect for the shot, though, so that all Saeed Anwar had to do was to make sure that he worked out the correct line and the right choice of shot. He did so and executed it beautifully. Heath Davis will just have to move his line across 6 or 8 inches, otherwise he'll be in further trouble.
Oh, a big hit. Could be the first 6 of the morning. And it is.
Well, the difference with this one is it's not quite as far up to him, so he was able to get under it, and he hit it for 6 at the end of the over, 34 without loss.
34 for no wicket. Sohail to face, quite content to be the junior partner. We've seen this in all the matches so far, because Saeed Anwar is in such brilliant form. No one can keep up with him.
Pringle bowling over the wicket.
It's 2.3, that's a good average. Economy rate 4.3, best 4 for 35 at Sydney. Straight to gully, Hartland the fielder.
He's doing some stretching exercises. The chances are he will bowl the next over, replacing Davis.
Down the wicket there.
Felt the need to take the game to the New Zealanders after 2 dot balls only.
And so early on. It's a lovely shot through the covers, 4 runs. Glorious extra cover drive.
So just a pity there that Pringle wasn't able to get it on the spot. He ended up handing out a wide, full.
It's going to be Simon Davis with Glenn Tech.
Saeed Anwar is on the go. He's on the boil. A difficult proposition for him.
Well stopped by Fleming in the cover.
So hard on him.
Thank you for that one. Just dropped in. Shake, rattle and roll there.
Well, I did suggest that it was in the early stages, you know, when they're playing the Duke of Norfolk's 11 and so on. I really was considerate to you, Simon.
Okay, thank you for that. Well, Nash was pretty successful in the match against Sri Lanka. But it's a different kettle of fish bowling to these guys. Anwar moving up the gears very quickly indeed. Took 3 wickets against the Sri Lankans, and vital ones they were too. And that's a beautiful shot. Foot forward, just laid the bat down. Nothing too expansive, but away it went. 4 more.
But it wasn't on the up, it was very full. And all he had to do was to find the gap, and he closed the face just a fraction, so that instead of hitting it to the fielder at mid-off.
And noisy it is too. What a day we should have on Friday if they are to win this match, I say if. Sohail's out of there. That's a despairing dive from Harris, who has been outstanding in the field, but just eludes him.
Well, that's a crashing cover drive. That has stayed hit. And
so a single to Saeed Anwar, and the 50 up in the 7th over. Asif, good morning. Good morning. And that's gone again, flying away from Anwar. He is in quite breathtaking form, and look at Nash's face. He can't quite believe what's happening to him.
Yes, I think definitely here. There was nothing wrong with the ball, maybe just a little bit on middle and leg rather than off and middle. And Saeed Anwar perfectly placing that ball, beautifully in position to place it where he wanted to.
Yes, the expression said it all. Where can you bowl to this fellow when he's in this kind of form?
Well, I think the New Zealand bowlers have tried everywhere. They tried on the offside, they got hit to the boundary. They tried on straight. Again, they were dispatched to the boundary, and they tried on the legs. And he's an all-round player, and I think it's remarkable to see the influence that this young man has put onto the Pakistan batting.
That's a wide. Yes, it's amazing. Only a couple of years ago, Saeed Anwar.
I think he's one of the most exciting batsmen that Pakistan has produced.
Well, I think we got him out there, and Dion Nash gives him a wave goodbye. But having lauded him to the heights, that was a little reckless.
Yes, I think it was more a wicket presented to the New Zealand bowler Nash there, and there was no need for that, but that's the way Saeed has been playing, and I don't really think that is what we expect.
No.
Well, I think it's sad to see something like that.
I was in strike, and he's going to face Gavin Larson, who's taken over from Dion Nash at the football stadium end of this ground. Here he is to Inzamam. Well, that's going to increase the strike rate, for that's going for 4. It was on Inzamam's legs, and he hit it very well indeed.
That certainly is not going to help the captain's confidence. Inzamam has seen Larson in action before. He knows what he bowls. So he was down the wicket knowing that Larson is just military medium pace. And flick over mid-wicket for a boundary. Due course, if you have big crowds, design the sunglasses that the players wear, you might even have headphones where the captain can pass on instructions.
Oh, that's a lovely shot. 4 more. A push drive. He timed it so well.
He is a sweet timer of the ball, isn't he? There wasn't too much power in it. Look at the way he's just pushed. He hasn't hit it, he's just pushed it, and but because he's timed it so well, the ball has raced away to the boundary. It has been, there's no question that Thompson has come on.
In early March. Here he is now to Amir Sohail. Oh, and that's what a fine stroke. It gave him a bit of width, a flashing drive. And Thompson, like Larson, has seen his first ball disappear for 4.
Also just goes to show how good this wicket is. The ball was not a half volley.
Cages are coming in to join that little group. And it's Gavin Larson to Amir Sohail. Douglas at backward point. Sonny, you were talking about having intercom captain, and so he can talk to his cricketers. One of the funniest intercom stories happened in a test match at Old Trafford, and I'll try and tell it to you as this over goes by, because Larson takes a bit more of a run than Thompson. About 7 or 8 years ago, Alan Lamb was one of England's not-out batsmen, and he came out after the interval. It was, I think, the lunch interval, and he realized when he got there, he'd got his portable telephone on him. So I don't think he'd ever been the same since, poor old Dickie. Well, that was, I'm afraid, a long hop that got what it deserved. Amir Sohail won't waste those sort of offerings.
Yesterday, Mark Taylor clung on to a similar shot from Sachin Tendulkar. This one was, of course, a little wider of the short mid-wicket fielder.
So 90 and 13 and a half overs. 16 runs. That's the tallest skyscraper so far. Good morning, Empire State Building. That was, he was opening the pace, he was trying to get it fine, it was a little bit edgy. It went a fraction finer than he intended, but it's 4 more runs.
Well, this is the regular 1 one-day shot, opening the face of the bat, being the third number one.
From 14 overs, it's Thompson now to start a new over to Inzamam Haq. Off a little bit of bottom edge, and he's going to get certainly 2 runs. I think that's all there will be. Time now for a change in the commentary box. It will be Iftikhar Ahmed and Glenn Turner.
Thank you, Henry. And that was a false shot there from Inzamam Haq. Got away with it. And what's more, got a couple of runs too. And the Pakistanis storming along.
Shuffle down the wicket. But at the moment, Pakistan well in command.
I wonder if he with the batting or might be a way to go.
And that's cut away, square of the wicket, lovely square cut. And that's 3.
Salim Malik is the next player to come in, and that's good running by these two.
All the media of the world present here. 99 for 1, and Inzamam, the right-handed batsman, to 6. Last in the book. Push, and that's the 100 for Pakistan, coming in 16.1 overs.
Not often that you see needing to come on in the first 15, but Larson didn't have a lot of choice. And now he's bowling himself in the 16th. And just 4 inside the circle. So straight away, New Zealand have had to go to a position with their field that you might expect further down the line.
He'll have to hurry if there's a direct hit, but he's home. 101 for 1. And the crowd, well, there's our cheerleader marshalling his supporters.
He's no youngster either, is he? He obviously maintained his boyish enthusiasm.
See people outside the ground. He's peeping through. Well, that's the price if you don't pay. Oh, bit of misfielding at cover. 102 for 1, Harris, the fielder. And another section of the crowd. Must have a strong back. Back to our cheerleader, and he knows when the camera is on him.
What's he calling there? Zindabad? Is that long live? Is that what it's being said or not?
I didn't hear it. Thick outside edge, guided away. And it's 4 runs to the third man boundary, 106 for 1. And Larson now not quite on his knees, but at this stage he must be quite desperate. 106 for 1 in the 16th over. 106 for 1. Thompson will bowl the 17th over.
4 on the offside, saving the single, and 1 on the on. I don't know if it'll stay that way for too long. Deep mid-wicket. And so he's going to have to bowl a tight line. There's nobody back on the offside at all, not even an offside sweeper.
And field set for Inzamam.
Not allowed more than 5 on the onside in this tournament. That's a field restriction that they have in the rules.
That's the long on. 107 for 1.
Here, looks like a traffic policeman out there waving his arms around. So we've got an offside sweeper and a long off. the offside sweeper way back in the distance there. And the long off as we come round. There he is.
Inzamam facing Thompson, bowling round the wicket. Makes room, square cuts, 4 runs, backward point boundary. Lovely shot. He made the room there as he cut it away for 4.
Just too much width here, and the offside sweeper is in front of point. He's clipped. We should see a great match. It's 2 days away.
This game is by no means over. It's the...
Foul, Harry.
Is he likely to float to Basit Ali? Could he come in ahead of him or not?
That's to mid-wicket. I think, Glenn, they'll stick to the batting order.
Doesn't mean the more overs he can be out there for, the better it would be for Pakistan.
Foul, Harry.
And that's driven wide of mid-off. Good bit of fielding there. Just the single.
And let's just have a look at
Inzamam to face Harris. That's Howard. Oh, he's yawning a little. Oh, brilliantly fielded. Douglas takes most of the pace of the ball, but just a single.
playing hard enough. Had it beat him, the sweeper would have had to have made a lot of ground and may not have had time to collect it.
And that one's passed mid-off. Ball racing away, 4 runs to the mid-off boundary. 1-1-8 for 1. Good shot by Sohail.
Yes, it is. It was wide and...
So 44 to Sohail, Inzamam 28. 1-1-8 for 9. The 19th over about to start. Thompson the bowler, and it's going to be Glenn Turner and Simon Reed.
Reach a shuffle of the field around here.
Thanks, Glenn. Yes. It's relentless. Inzamam gradually moving up the gears, and the scoring rate threatening to be very soon as good as it was early on.
There's enough width there.
Harris to continue. The non-striker's end now. Sohail, he's on 49.
Played very sensibly, and as I said earlier, with Syed Anwar going berserk, he made sure that Syed gets as much strike as possible.
Oh, Harry.
So comfortably placed by Inzamam. He almost looks as if he was in his sleep there, the way he just comfortably picked off the single.
Easy for him, I think that's the danger.
So 49 Sohail. Nothing there.
Well, lads.
That's full. There it is, half century for Amir Sohail.
It's a very nicely played knock, very sensibly played knock, because in spite of the
Balloons and jubilation. 150 is up. Big man in Inzamam Haq. Here's Thompson. And that's gone between the two fielders there at long on and deep mid-wicket. 4 runs. That was well placed by Inzamam.
Well, that was a terrific shot, because there's not that much of a gap between deep mid-wicket and long gone. And he's bisected the fielders so well. You can see that's not much of a gap. Terrific shot.
You can see where he gets his power from, can't you? Thompson throwing that one a little bit wider, but Inzamam saw it, opened the face, and has run it down to the untalented third man area for 2 runs. And that is Inzamam Haq's 50. His second 50 in successive matches. He's striking a rich vein of form then towards the end of the tournament. It's another handsome stroke. It's a run for Heath Davis. And Amir Sohail had to hurry over the last few. Good shot there. 2 runs. Really, this flow of runs is not being checked at all. Crowd, nearly all Pakistani supporters, they're loving it. There's Heath Davis. Like shelling peas, isn't it? Runs coming just about where the batsmen want. Now to Sohail. There's Pringle at long on, less than 4 runs and over, and poor old Heath Davis, he's went for 11 and over. Oh dear. Another lovely shot, 4 runs. That was timed and placed beautifully by Inzamam Haq. Goodness me, he's batting well.
That's the hallmark of a class player, hitting the ball and then finding the gaps. There's no point hitting the ball hard straight to the fielder. And Inzamam Haq has been picking the gaps with ease, not for boundaries but for runs. It's keeping the scoreboard ticking.
It's Thompson at short fine leg.
Thank you, Henry. Still adjusting his new garb. He's finally got it all right. Quarter.
Could be.
Sohail still there. Thompson, the bowler, round the wicket. Down the wicket he comes, but he doesn't quite get hold of it. Goes straight for it. Larson.
And what?
60 run rate. Swept, and swept well. 4 runs to the fine leg area. 1-7-4 for 1.
Well, the field that Thompson's got, he can't afford to drift it down there, and he knows that because there's no one back on the sweep. He's got a deep mid-wicket, but he hasn't got the orthodox man on the sweep trying to strengthen other parts.
To continue the commentary, Asif and Simon Reed.
Goes for a sprightly single and gets it.
And the man on screen there is Amir Sohail, not really having a go at boundaries and sixes.
And he's flogged that mercilessly. To me, he looks like a man playing against a bunch of kids.
Yes, I think, just as I said it, that the New Zealand bowlers are not giving away the boundaries. Inzamam produced that shot, and surely I think, well, we have seen that recently another record was broken. Ryan Lara breaking Sir Garfield Sobers' record, so records I suppose are meant to be broken. Well, the one thing which I think the Pak's a better player.
Just a single. But you get the feeling, Davis,
Throwing the bat at everything. The New Zealand bowlers as well as the fielders are under tremendous pressure. Yes, and I wonder what he must be thinking of his decision now. But I suppose he knew that
again, just playing with a despairing dive from Dion Nash. But he knew exactly what he was doing.
yes, that was improvisation. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that the fielder has been brought up into the ring.
The pin for Pakistan is back. And it's Pringle coming back at the far end. He's going to bowl round the wicket for the left-handed Amir Sohail. Single there. Sunny, coming back to this, in South Africa, in fact, they do use the third umpire.
Could be in charge out there, but there should be, supposing there's a catch taken close to the ground.
Oh, he played that just wide there of Harris at mid-wicket, and away it goes for 4 more runs, and the torrent of runs continues to the delight of most of the spectators here, who obviously are supporting Pakistan.
Well, it would have been a truly fantastic catch if Harris had latched onto that one, but it was too wide of him.
The nearest the frame, nearest us, is a politician from Pakistan. Am I right in thinking he's the Minister of Health, or was the Minister of Health, Sonny?
Good question, Henry. Unfortunately, no answer.
Well, we may both have got it wrong, in which case it's going to be Dion Nash to Amir Sohail. Well, that wasn't such a good
Bowling figures.
Dion Nash sliding down the hill, starting with 11, then 9, then 5, and jolly nearly a maiden. Well, that's a lovely shot. That's going towards the boundary. It's been cut off there by Fleming.
It's been played on the up stump position, giving you a terrific view there.
And you saw how hard he hit it, didn't you? It fairly whizzed away, that one. Very exciting stump vision. Sohail's 94. And he's still 94. That's Chris Harris in the covers. At mid-wicket.
Outstanding fielder in this tournament for me. Taken 2 absolutely stunning catches. He's been a live wire on the field. It's quite hot out there. He's never flagged even for a moment. He's given it all every single time the balls come to him.
Don't know whether Sohail has got rather... He looks as relaxed as anything, doesn't he? Very laid back he is. Times one wonders if he isn't a little bit too laid back, almost for his own good. Runs here. Young down there, and back they come. What is true, they look rather solemn about it, don't they? Nothing solemn about that lot, though. The chap at the back has... Great ball, what's that balloon say? Was him Akram his own son? Well, I'm not quite certain what he means by that, but there we are. They're all in tremendous form, aren't they, the crowd? Here's Nash to Inzamam. And that is going to be his 100. It is 4 runs. Inzamam al-Haq goes to 101. He has got there first. Sohail still on 95. It was a gift, a full toss. He hit it for 4 and waves to his adoring fans.
And what a superb knock this has been. Right from the time he's arrived at the crease, he's been middling the ball.
Oops. Oh, my goodness me, that's a painful celebration.
Yes, I think Inzamam was looking at the ball. He didn't look at the bowler.
Sri Lanka. And our old friend, the Old Testament prophet, he's in mid-season form as well. Starting a new over to single there at long on. The single to Inzamam. 200 and... Well, Larson's having a hard baptism in his first spell as New Zealand captain. He's in the air, and it's three. These batsmen doing just what they like with the ball.
Well, he's now toying with the bowling, isn't he? I mean, look at that. Just flicking the ball over the fielder who's been brought into the circle. He's really toying with the bowling now.
There we go again. This time, Davis doesn't have quite such a strenuous... It's over the top, four more, chipping it over the top with the greatest possible ease. Well, this is really more a procession than a game of cricket at the moment.
Well, the way he's batting now, particularly after his 100, it does look as if Brian Lara's score of 153, which is the highest score here in Sharjah, is in danger. The very fact that Brian Lara has scored 375 situation out there.
Slightly, I think Basit Ali might be rather peeved that he wasn't included in that list.
Well, it doesn't, because it was topped by Brian Lara in the same match when he scored that 153. But Basit's assault on Kirtley Ambrose was breathtaking, to say the least.
It was an amazing innings, wasn't it? Nash again to Sohail. Well, it's in the air, but that's safe enough. Larson after it. So 99 now to Amir Sohail.
He did quite get hold of that. He's pulled it off the front foot. Just goes to show how amiable this wicket is. Good wicket to bat on. Of course, everybody's standing now in anticipation of that 100.
Yes, the rhythmical clapping. Here is Nash to Sohail. It's a full toss, and he's hit it straight back to the bus. It was his partnership with Saeed Anwar, who was the man out for just 37 this morning, that really gave this innings its momentum. Well played, Amir Sohail. Waving his bat to the dressing room. And everyone round the ground clapping him, a great many coming to their feet.
Now we should really see some very big hitting. Both batsmen having got their hundreds, and Inzamam to face. Larson the bowler. Just to shuffle down the wicket and out to deep mid wicket for single. really been...
See what could be possible if they're really firing from both ends, as they're undoubtedly just starting to do now that they've both got their hundreds and continue to.
Straight to mid-wicket. And 2-6-3.
Unit manager, floor manager, you name it.
Oh, that's a lovely hit. Straight over the bowler's head, 4 runs. Straight down the wicket, that. 2-6-7 for 1. And now the charge really underway. Pakistan, there you see that beautiful shot. Straight over the bowler's head.
Well, Larson's rather gratified there that it wasn't a little bit...
hit. To long on, 4 runs. The ball travelling far too quickly for the long on there, even to run across and cut it off. That was really firmly hit with all the bulk, Inzamam's bulk behind it.
Gave himself some room there, just to try and get his legs outside the ball so he could hit it straighter. There's a long on back there, Young. And Young didn't have to make a lot of ground, but the ball went so quickly it beat him.
2-7-9. Davis, and it's 280. The quietest of the 3. And that's a big hit. Could be a 6. We'll have to wait for the fielder's signal. No, it's a 4. Over the mid-wicket fielder, and first bounce into the boundary line.
Larson tried to get it in the block.
3 deliveries. And it's Harris now bowling to Sohail, who moves away from his stumps and plays it down to third man for 4. Harris quite disappointed there that he didn't play it on to the stumps, but the ball going past the stumps for 4.
Well, Sohail gave himself just too much room really there, and it was a nick. Harris probably felt that he'd done him, but he just got a little nick on the ball to take it wide of the stumps.
Another big hit, could be 4. The ball travelling to the deep square leg area. It's 4 runs. And now both these batsmen throwing their bat at every delivery, trying to pile on the agony. And let's watch that again. The big heave, and it's gone for 4.
It's a question of just how strong these two are now. They don't appear to be showing too many signs of wear. But if they did, then they'd need to leave it to someone else. But they're doing nicely enough.
That's over mid-wicket. Could be another 4. There's a fielder running there, and it's 4 runs to the mid-wicket boundary. 2-9-9 for 1. The crowd on their feet. And this is a real romp.
It is, and perhaps they've conserved their strength sufficiently with their just angling between the
He might be wanting to go in, and before play resumes, it's going to be Simon Reed to take you to the close of the innings.
He's looking at if it's a forward wicket.
Inzamam on 1-2-8. Smashed in the air. But, only a couple.
And we have that one, a real slog across the line. And Young down there made some progress, but Inzamam tried to get under it. I'm sure there's easier ways to hit 6 than attempt that. It pitched and stopped. And Young prevented the bounce.
130 now, Inzamam. Stop. Inzamam on 130. 153 is the highest total so far. That was Brian Lara in the final late last year against Pakistan. 153. So Inzamam just testing it. So too is Ahmed Sohail, but one suspects that Inzamam's going to get very close indeed if he gets enough of the strike. He's got to get at least 50% of the strike from here on in.
Yes, he's got an outside chance, hasn't he, really? No sixes there for Inzamam, but 14 fours.
Just a single.
Now that was the unlikely.
I think you got it spot on there, Glenn. On the ground.
And there's an indication there of just, look at that, it's just slogged across it. No technique there.
Yeah, normally it's economy of movement with Inzamam, isn't it? It was hardly that there.
He's still got economy of movement between the stumps, I think, when he's running.
This is true. Well, they both had it now. After all the stylish stuff we've seen up to now from Sahel, it just fell apart there.
But he's nibbled with the bat. The ball will sail away on its own.
He's just fetched that round. It's a long run again for Davis. It's too much. Excellent shot. He spotted the field gap and straight in. 311 for one.
Well, there was the example of picking his spot right
against Bangladesh 4 years ago. That's the record here in Sharjah. So 29 off the last 2 overs. The way they're going, it's not beyond the realms of...
So we're going to get the overs through nicely by about 10 to 1 local time. That's in about 7 minutes time, I would suggest. Probably take them that long to bowl the last 2, and then that gives us almost an hour for lunch.
Said with feeling. Just a single.
I don't know about you, Simon, but when a side scores as many runs as this, you tend to feel a little battle-weary oneself, even just talking about it.
Absolutely. And it must be the same for the fielding side, if not worse. What do you think will be Larsen's strategy? They'll have to go out and give it the rush, really, from the word.
In New Zealand, they started to use Harris towards the end as the opener, but it may be advisable that they put in a pinch hitter, and they need to get away to a flyer in those first 15 overs.
Well bottled.
A lot of talent. Still learning how to play an innings, if you like, and pace himself a little and not get too reckless, but good raw talent at this stage, and he is one player that New Zealand has who has the capabilities of scoring quickly and well here.
It's in the slot, and he's gone for one, looking for a second, and they take it. But they need all their big guns to come good if they're to get anywhere near this total.
Yes, and when you say guns too, we are talking plural here, aren't we? Because no one person's going to win this game on their own.
Well timed, well placed, super shot from Amir Sahel.
Once again, Nash tried to get it in the block hole, I'm sure. It ends up a low full toss. And Sahel picking his spot very nicely there through extra cover or square cover. So Pringle has the unenviable task of bowling the last over.
And that's up in the air a long, long way. And that's Douglas underneath it. And the end of a monumental innings from Amir Sahel. He looked to be getting tired, they both have in the last few minutes, and that was a bit of a tired shot, but so much for these fans to enjoy over the last 3.5 hours.
Yes, it was dragged down a little short. He had to club it with the cross bat, and just hitting a little high on the bat. Douglas at long on, coming in, steadying himself, and taking it reverse cut very easily. So Pakistan eventually lose their second wicket at 3:20 in the 50th. There's the 2 above him. Well, let's see if he can get hold of it.
but the ball can disappear when he hits it.
He's getting back on ball.
Along the ground, just a single. That man's going to have records almost everywhere he plays. That must be close. And this could be close as well. Now that's interesting. The appeal wasn't as long as I thought it might be. Looked to me like it deflected away from the wicket. Let's have a look again. Oh!
Well, I thought he had to have got a nick on that, because otherwise, how was it out?
Well, it was no... I can't think what else. So, Wazim Akram on strike. 2 balls to go.
Well...
The bat's gone miles, right over the top. The end, and just about the end of New Zealand. What a way to finish from Wazim Akram.
Well, Douglas was back at long on. He just watched it go. Look, he's walking off already. He's decided that
It's lunch.
it's lunch and it was going to go many a mile, and he's not bothered. They can keep it up there for all he cares.
But what an innings for Inzamam ul-Haq. Played his part in a major stand. 263 for the second wicket. The highest for any wicket ever here in Sharjah.
Of 100 first-class hundreds I've seen dressed in this costume before. Glenn, it's been a great privilege talking to you like this. I feel I really should call him Sir from now on. Anyway, play is about to begin. Enough of the frivolity, and up to the main commentary position.
And that was Henry, first delivery. And it's short, lifting, outside the off stump, and it's through to the keeper. See that ball pitching on the stump. Short, lifting, and it's a no ball.
Well, that was useful. Straight, too. And Hartland having a wind at it. But that was more of a... he's just letting umpire Kanji know what he thought about it, that it should be called a no ball. He did no ball it very quickly anyway.
Quick outside edge, where second slip would have been uppish, down to third man for 4. 13 for no wicket. Business while having fun. Young facing. Aqib Javed. And the wicket he comes, the charge, but gets it on the pads, and they go through for 1. 14 for no wicket.
Yes, a good adjustment with the ball from Javed.
So that's Hartland. Inzamam at short mid-wicket. That's beautifully played. 4 runs to the square leg fence. Lovely timing. Hartland, a wristy shot.
He's clipping it off his pads and
Have the opportunity to invite their own guests. Some more of them. They have their own television and their television. And that's the box from where we're doing commentary. We're situated right among the VIP boxes.
it's an example there with Young. He does sometimes just get a little bit much bottom hand in, looking to chop it onto the stumps rather than keeping the blade dead straight.
Got it onto his boot. Could have gone either way after it hit his boot.
Quite delighted that it occurs, not in this part of the ground though.
It's down to the long leg. That's the general stand, and I'm sure the moment they come to know if they do, there they are, waving away. Immediate reaction. There's McKee for the catch behind, and he's out. Brilliant catch by Rashid Latif. And Hartland is gone.
So it looked here, it's hard to tell on replay, but it looks as though he's starting to walk or starting to run. Probably helped the umpire a little bit make the decision as it happened, but he appeared to be happy enough. 19 for 1.
Well, I think Wasim Akram there feeling a little bit disappointed by that umpire's refusal to give the LBW in his favour, but I think bowling over the wicket and the ball pitching about leg stump looked like going down the leg.
Aqib Javed. Flipping it into the covers, Amis Sohail at some stage. But Aqib Javed, the man with the ball at the moment. Devastating figures against India, as he has a hat-trick to his name. 7 for 37 here 3 years ago.
Right.
Saeed Anwar. There's it.
That's the other Centurion.
That fetched it well. Yes, beautifully timed.
Yes, Aqib in fact had a fielder placed there for that shot, and here pitching a shot on the legs, not getting the height that the batsman would have liked. In spite of that,
Douglas 6, Harris 7. He should be the main protagonist with the bat, but of course they're hoping for a lot from this guy.
and he's the guy who's trying his best to stop them from doing it.
One wicket so far, perhaps a little fortunate. Massive Mujtaba quickly across. going many places around the world. There's Pakistan radio broadcasting.
Yes, and I think on the right of the commentator.
No ball call because it was adjudged to be head high and over, but he rolled in from about 5 paces there and he got that life out of it. Quite extraordinary.
Yes, and only Wasim can do a thing like this. We all know that, we all know about his capabilities, and I'm sure that Ferrari there.
He does well there. Atar Rahman coming round, just makes the stop. A bit of footwork. Through for a couple.
That's leg-wise.
Imran Khan, and just beyond him you can see another of the world's great bowlers, Abdul Qadir.
Yes, that's
signing autographs.
Yes, that's Abdul Qadir. It's nice to see him. He has been a bit unlucky with his fitness, and that's the reason he's not in the squad.
That's a great shot. Karori just leaning on it. And through extra cover it goes. They need plenty more of that, but that's a start.
Yes, that was a beautiful shot.
34 for 1.
I think they're quite pleased to be here at the fact that the New Zealand team made it to the semi-finals when they came so close to being beaten by Sri Lanka.
And that's 4. Just feeling his way in. And Young takes full advantage there.
Yes, first ball by Atar Rahman, enough width for the batsman, right spot, and with no protection for the boundary line, 4 runs.
Spinning the field just in front of square. So he's on 11 now. And that's gone behind square. That's another 4.
That's a beautiful shot. Better shot than the last one. And Atar Rahman being treated. Look at that ball. Again, there's a same line and same length. Enough width for the batsman. And
50.
Well, they have to score at a tremendous rate, don't they? Because they're chasing a score of 328. They can't afford to play a waiting game. They've got to take their chances. And Brian Young, he's had a good tournament so far. He's played well. Enjoyed batting on this wicket with the balls coming on without too much of deviation, either in the air or off the wicket. It's good for him to get into the patch and rhythm for the Tour of England to follow.
Atar Rahman to Young. There we go again. That's 4 more. That's another fine stroke. Well, that was absolutely splendid. The 50 is up in the 10th over.
With another short pitch delivery. This was even shorter than the previous one. And Young.
That overthrow because the batsman at the non-striker's end, Ferrari, overran the crease in his effort to make his ground in case Basid Ali's throw should make a direct hit, that he couldn't regather himself in time. Well, you see, already Pakistan are ahead after 10 overs. And here's the youngest spectator of all. She can't be more than a week or 2 old, or 3 old anyway. Very attentive daddy too. And these are the worms. The New Zealand worm is labouring hard, going up the hill, whereas the Pakistan worm, well, still comfortably in the lead at this point, but there's a very long way to go. splendid spectators. One to Atta Rahman, deep backward square leg. Isn't that rather nice, isn't it? The diamonds there. A rather solemn spectator. I think she would like to laugh, but hasn't quite got round to it. That's better. Akib Javed. And that's a fine stroke by Adam Perori. It was short, it was a little bit wide, he used the width and placed it very well indeed between short extra cover and cover point.
Super shot, that.
That's a good stroke. Anything Young can do, I can do better. Hitting through the line, playing it late, finding the gap, 4 runs.
Yes, once again, the wicket playing a big part in that. It's such a lovely wicket to bat on. Perori could afford to wait for the ball to come on. He plonked his foot down first, but then waited for the ball to come on and then drove it.
Well, these New Zealanders are, I think, winning everyone's admiration in the way that they're setting about this enormous task they have in front of them. Remember, they were set to score 329 to win. There's Adam Perori, and here is Atta Rahman. And there's Inzamam ul Haq. It's Mr. Bukata, Abdul Rahman Bukata, the boss, the organizer. He's done everything here for cricket in Sharjah. He's made the stadium a possibility. I asked him the other day what his favourite cricketing memory was. He said, my favourite cricketing moment is whenever I see this ground of mine full. On Friday, when India play Pakistan in the final, unless New Zealand pull off a miracle now, we'll see it pull again. Oh, well picked up by Wasim Akram. That was a beautiful piece of fielding.
Yes, it was, wasn't it? One normally expects fast bowlers to relax at deep fine leg. Fast bowlers not always the quickest movers. That was in one action. Pick up and throw. Marvelous athlete, Wasim Akram.
Well, Young having a go at a wide one. In this sort of position, the New Zealanders have got to do this. Young, once a wicket keeper, now an opening batsman. Oh, he's gone. He couldn't get on top of it. Saeed Anwar has taken the catch above his head at cover. New Zealand have lost their second wicket, and it is Brian Young, the man who is out. A brave innings, a brave end, defiant to the last.
And success finally for Atta Rahman. He's taken some punishment, but he's kept plugging on. And there's the reward for him, a fine catch overhead by Saeed Anwar, making a contribution on the field as well. And New Zealand have lost their second wicket for 66.
So, what a fight remains ahead for Perori and Thompson. There's our chip seller. I think actually our chip giver. I don't think money passes hands. As you can hear, the crowd in tremendous form, led by our old friend, the Old Testament prophet. What are they chanting, Sam?
I don't know. I can't understand what they're saying. But obviously, they're very happy. And why not?
Going to go inexorably up. It's very difficult to chase a target of this size. Hello, sir. Nice to see you. Yes, it is a good game, isn't it? And I tell you what, they're jolly good too. It's going to be 2 more runs to Perori. Well, that was a marvellous throw by Ato Rahman, hitting the stumps from square on. He only had 1 stump to aim at. Hit it in the middle, but Thompson was home.
You can see what a tonic a wicket can be. Beautiful pick up and throw. Thompson was well enough close, but still you can see spring. Rahman stepped now that he's got Brian Young's wicket.
I say, that's a wonderful stroke, taking a step down the wicket to Aqib Javed and then producing a stroke like that. That was tremendous.
You know, Henry, I'm not too sure fast bowlers enjoy playing in limited overs cricket. I mean, batsmen would never dream of playing such shots in test matches. But here you are.
Ball hit, you know, that New Zealand would have been a wicket down, new batsman coming in, getting used to the conditions. Yeah, I think they would have been out.
Yes, Raza the fielder. The direct hit would have been the end. We're hitting a bit straighter now, down to Wasim at long on.
You notice the way the New Zealand batsmen bat. I mean, they are not flowing stroke players, you know, like the freedom Inzamam had, or Saeed Anwar had, or how we watched Ahmed Sohail. The New Zealand batsmen play closer to their body and therefore really can't hit the ball as sweetly. Possible because the conditions in New Zealand, you know, do not encourage stroke play. The wickets are slow seeming wickets. It's like in north of England, I always found that the batsmen were much more concentrating on their defense, playing close to the bat, and hence the strokes were limited.
Chase for Anwar. And they get a single.
That's the Pakistani ambassador. Sitting next to him is a very keen cricket enthusiast, Rishi Kapoor. He's an Indian film actor and very keen on cricket.
Well, he's picked the gap there expertly. And through it goes. Salim didn't think it deserved quite that, but that was a fine shot from Thompson.
Yes, it just shows how slow it is. And you know, Thompson perhaps has realized that the ball isn't coming on finally, and instead of lunging at...
Partnership developing, Akram Raza the gone through for 1, matched the bar from deep point to peaks, especially about the 10th over and then about the 25th. Sohail McCullers.
One good victory in the final match to help New Zealand level the one-day series. They almost brought off a victory for New Zealand in the 3rd game. This is the equation now. Required run rate 8.24.
Running down to long leg. They'll go through for 2. 136 for 2. Looking for his 50. Straight to a fielder at square leg. Deliveries, he's got 4 fours in that. Wide. Down the leg side.
New Zealand 4, the run rate's going to creep up.
And that's his 50. Driven to deep extra cover. Mujtaba running around their fields. He gets 2. and it's 139 for 2, and it's his first 50. His previous top. And that'll be another single. Saeed Anwar in the deep. This time they could go for 2. No, they'll decide just for the single. 143 for 2.
Well, the Pakistani bowlers, Atar Rahman, the most expensive right below, 7 runs and over.
Sohail at mid-wicket.
He took a bit of stick earlier on from Brian Young. Akram Razak, 4.8 per over. Wasim Akram, the meanest, 4.5.
Saeed Anwar a deep backward point. .143 for 2. Let's have a look at that. I felt that it went first bounce to him.
Yes, it didn't quite carry. Good effort there by Aqib Javed.
And that's gone for 4. 148 for 2. It's going to be silent.
And I think you're right, they really do.
168 for 2. There are 7.
Akram back.
See, this is where, see, again,
Just played away to square leg for the single. Very quiet cricket now. I think New Zealand perhaps have given up the chase, and both batsmen, perhaps Pavore going for his first 100, and Thompson also looking for a big score. Ijaz at cover, substituting for Inzamam, who's off the field. It's up in the air and he drops it. And that one's going to go for 4 to the extra cover boundary. 195 for 2.
yes, that was a great shot if he really got to the pitch of the ball. But I feel that New Zealand must give it a go. I mean, if I was their captain and I saw them just trailing and just meandering towards a draw, I would be quite upset. At least they should fight like tigers, and then, you know, if they don't make it, doesn't matter. But it's just strange the way they are going about it, as if they've already decided they're going to lose.
Thompson facing. 195 for 2. It's Larson, the captain. That's a big hit, could be a 6. The umpire waiting, and it's a 4. First bounce. Let's watch it again.
Yes, he's been trying to play that stroke for a while, and he's finally succeeded. Normally he just mistimed it because the ball was coming so slowly.
Jeff,
he must be happy.
Oh, that could be a run out. He's gone. What a mix-up. Bad luck. And let's watch it again. What a horrible mix-up, Imran.
Well, I'm afraid I have to blame him for being run out, because he in fact did look to go for a run and then stopped. And he's paid the price.
Thompson is run out. 199 for 3. Gets a good ovation from the crowd. And and this is the 40th over. 7 is average, and 150 is the highest. 90 at Napier, 93, 94 versus India, and one of New Zealand's up-and-coming young batsmen. He's off the mark with a single straight away.
Perhaps the New Zealand batsman, Tom, was certainly not much experience batting to come. But I didn't agree with the possible, that sort of, that theory, because I feel a team must go.
Got to their 200. And Fleming comes down the wicket, and it's a wide, and Rashid Latif missed the ball. He should have taken that, and possible stumping chance there. Oh, it's through him. He's bowled. That ball went right under his bat, and Fleming. Short innings has come to an end, and that has brought the crowd back to life. Amir Sohail.
In fact, a very good ball by Amir Sohail, because the previous one was flighted, and this one he bowled a faster Yorker. The change of pace really is what got to Fleming.
So big interest now whether Parole can get to his 100. He's on 82, and Malik Kavola, and he's out, caught a cover. What a great catch by Ejaz. He smacked that one straight to cover, and let's watch it again. What a great catch.
That was a superb catch. Ejaz has been one of the best fielders ever produced by Pakistan, and there he shows his class, although previously he had dropped a couple of catches.
So Parore caught Ejaz, bowled Salim Malik 82, New Zealand 204 for the loss of 5 wickets. A wonderful hand for him as he comes back. Some of the...
That's right, and that was an extremely enjoyable series, one-day series.
The one-day series was marvellous. And that tied match in the end at Georgetown, but after that, in the Test series, I'm afraid Pakistan did something similar to what England are doing at the moment. Well, there we see the two managers, the Brotherhood of Man, Intikhab Alam on the right, Geoffrey Howarth on the left of New Zealand. Salim Malik. And Harris is the new batsman. Goes very wide of the crease, doesn't he?
And that was the catch that got Prore out. That's Ejaz, who's very happy because he had dropped a couple of catches early on, and for a fielder of his class to have dropped those catches is quite rare. So he's made up with a brilliant catch.
Well, that was hit into the ground. Well, New Zealand have played a rather Jekyll and Hyde performance in this innings. I mean, they got a splendid start. I thought Young, who made 36, hit the ball.
He's dropped, Henry, I was just watching that. He's just dropped that catch.
It was in the, I thought it was hit into the ground.
Yeah, it was a catch, which is why he's upset. And, I've been saying the same thing for a while today, that India are much better prepared for the final than Pakistan, and a stumping chance missed.
Well, that one hasn't been, but he could have dropped. In fact, it's bowled in. I thought it would have been the keeper who taken off. It's bowled in, so Douglas is out. That's another wicket down. And so New Zealand, yes, that hit the top of the middle stump. So Douglas has gone. It's rather a disappointing phase, this, because New Zealand started well with Young, as I was saying, and one felt then that they at least could have gone down with their colours flying, but they never really made any effort to see if a miracle was going to happen, did they?
Absolutely, Henry. I was quite disappointed once the two batsmen were in. This is one of the easiest wickets to hit the ball, and yet...
But it was so badly affected by injuries.
He takes on fast bowlers, and only geniuses can do that.
Here is Aqib Javid. Aqib Javid was another who was hurt in that tournament too. That one goes down to Wasim Akram, another single. Yes, he's a fine performer. Of course, he's always been a good bowler. He's taken a lot of wickets here in Sharjah. Although I wonder if he's ever had to bowl on quite such a flat surface as the one now. Well, that's a good robust stroke there by Chris Harris, and it's going away, I think, for 4. It is. There even now. I mean, this really has fulfilled one of life's dreams.
Well, once the doors open, I think that would be the time.
Well, yes, they should almost wheel you in on the first stretcher, but maybe that's not quite the way to go. Anyway,
here we see Inzamam on the screen. He loves his rest, as you can see. He's enjoying himself sitting outside while the team is fielding in the sun. If I was the captain, I wouldn't allow him these luxuries.
Well, that was a fairly unfriendly way for Wasim Akram to welcome Nash, but no ball was called. Not quite certain. It was a marginal one, that. Anyway, Nash went too eager to get onto the front foot after that.
Also shows how easy it is for Wasim to bowl that bouncer with that whippy action.
Oh, that's out. That is the 7th wicket down. Nash has gone, bowled by Wasim Akram. And so this match really now effectively over. 218 for 7 New Zealand, the innings in ruins.
The reason why Wasim...
So that'll give them reason to look forward to that tour with slightly greater optimism. Wasim Akram now to Larson.
Another swinging Yorker. Very difficult to play because Wasim has this whippy action, he's deceptive. This is the previous wicket. Just watch it go right under the bat.
It's a marvellous, marvellous picture, that, wasn't it? And there he is again, just a fraction of Large Mountains, which you once told me about.
Such a pressure on me, you know, to meet various dates, to raise the money. Then, as part of the board of governors and the management committee, there have been bottlenecks. So I haven't really had a chance to pursue this dream.
Still, it's well, you've plenty of time. And when you get that house in action, I'm certainly going to come and stay with you. I think it sounds too good to be true. Now, here is Aqib Javid. Wide call there by Mr. Pantalel, umpire from Zimbabwe. And he's been standing in all these matches along with the 2 South Africans, Carl Liebenberg, who's at square leg today, and Barry Lampson, who I spoke to in one of the drink intervals this morning, and who's in the 3rd umpire's room. Well, he got an edge there, but they've run the single.
Well, I have 2 worries immediately, Henry. One is Shea seems to be struggling a little bit. He's running in well, but at the end, I don't see that nip in his bowling.
Aqib again. And that's a good blow by Harris, and it's going away to the backward point boundary. No, I think it's just stopped. Masjid Ali just managed to pull it back. It looked as though it rolled close to the rope. I don't think it actually touched it.
Well, one thing I will say, Henry, for the New Zealand team, here we see that shot again. Very poor delivery, a half volley outside the off stump. But they are all young players, and so for the future of New Zealand cricket, it augurs well, because these young players will be getting valuable experience. And who knows, in the next 3-4 years, New Zealand would become another good team.
Well, Imran, they had that very good side of the 9 years of building, which can be a little bit disappointing.
Well, that's why I suggested that maybe Hadley comes back for a couple of years to help out these boys, because it's a young team, you don't want them to get demoralized. You know, they need some a strong world-class cricketer. The people were more rugby-orientated than cricket. And yet in 1992 World Cup, the whole country was geared towards cricket. Then it'd be sad if that interest tapers off.
Thank you, Javed, to Nash, and there was an appeal there for a catch behind. I thought he may have touched that, but I mean, Sohail didn't seem very interested in that. Anyway.
Well, he didn't catch it. That's why, Henry. He obviously touched the ball, but it just dropped in front. And here again, I feel that Akib, there's not that much nip in his bowling. He's seems to running in well, but at the time of his delivery, I don't see that whippy action which got him so many wickets. I hope, but he has excellent temperament, and I hope he manages to rise to the occasion on Friday.
That's a very good shot by Harris. That's 4 runs. Well played. It's the end of the over 2, so New Zealand now 231.
But Larson's a pretty easygoing sort of a captain.
Salim Malik re-emerging. It's got a long way up in the air. Until Rahman racing in. Just a single.
Well, Harris gave that the kitchen sink. He gave it everything he had. It shows once again that you don't need to swing hard to hit it a long way. And he miscued totally. Only went halfway to the boundary there. And Rahman ran in off the edge and couldn't make it. Larson on strike. 5 balls remaining in this game. It's in fact 11, I'm sorry, it was 1 over after this.
Watched that well. Mujtaba, the fielder. So it's the last we see of New Zealand before they
picked things up a little in the West Indies in recent times, haven't they? Perhaps not very recent. I was thinking of the Test match that they won.
Yes.
And I suppose difficult to beat in England. Most sides are at home. England are no exception.
One for the overthrow. Tough call. Raza do so well, but unfortunately no one backing up.
Once again,
Harris on strike. He's on 30. Got a better contact on that, but unfortunately, oh no! Atul Rahman somehow contrived to drop it, and you can see Salim Malik giving him an old-fashioned stare there as he walks back.
Yes, well, you're right. He got hold of that one much better. Still not well enough to clear the edge, and that's straight down Rahman's throat. And he he made the mistake of just trying to time his movement so that he arrived on the scene as the ball arrived. You should get there as soon as you can and steady yourself. He didn't do that.
But you don't drop catches off the skipper. 261 for 7.
A feast of boundaries. Very few have cleared the boundary.
So the last over to be bowled by Wasim Akram. Oh. Super Yorker. Actually, Larson did well to dig it out.
Yes, that's broken toe material. Can't afford to...
Shake to duck. This is it down to 3rd man.
Probably took him a little bit.
Couple down to Anwar, just behind square. Another Yorker. Well dug out by Harris. Single.
A day off. I presume, Simon, that's the reasoning behind having a rest day timed for tomorrow.
Yes, they obviously wanted to work it back from the Friday. It had to be the final on the Friday because that obviously is the weekend day here. That's when the crowd can really come, is to work it back.
So that we get 2 Fridays, and it just so happens that it's India-Pakistan on both of them.
Yes, the first was obviously contrived. They've been lucky the way it's worked out in the end. And so Pakistan take their place in the final. If my maths is correct, that's a 62-run victory. No problem at all. Amir Sahil races off. It's been a day and a half for him, but he's not man of the match. Inzamam al-Haq takes the man of the match award. And New Zealand soundly beat. So, that's even greater reward for Salim. He'll be happy with the kiss.
Will he?
Yeah, he's broad-minded. So it's a Pakistan-India final.
Ladies and gentlemen,
just to check on the New Zealand scoreboard, there it is. Good flurry by Brian Young early on, but once he was out, it really lost its way. Perori and Thompson had a decent stand for the third wicket of 133, but it wasn't quick enough. And once Thompson went, Perori followed, and there was a real crumbling in the mid-order. Harris putting some respectability on the scoreline at the end, but it was academic. 266, not nearly enough. And the bowling, no real pressure on the bowlers. They were conceding singles everywhere. They were just protecting the boundaries. A couple of wickets for Akram and for Salim Malik. Larson takes the check for the runners-up, $3,000, and it's $6,000 for the winner, the winning captain, Salim Malik. And the chance of another 20,000 if they win on Friday. So there's the official picture for the morning papers tomorrow morning. And they're happy. It was easy, but they'll still celebrate. And now the man of the match award.
Decided by a jury comprising Mr. Abdul Rahman Muhammad, Jeffrey Hart, the
Yes, Inzamam gets it. Ahead of Sahil. It's ironic, really, that he scored 134.
Well, he got a wicket, he kept, but he still doesn't get man of the match.
Yes, it makes you wonder whether those other factors came into it in the end.
But it was a